Everything that rocks all day, the Big Dog 97.9. Good morning. It is 8:05. We got sunshine coming tomorrow with cooler temps, 59. Chance of showers maybe this afternoon with that high of 70.
Chris Purple, Ace and Bobby Show, brought to you by High Winds Casino, and now streaming live. You can catch the live video, and we'll chat with you. Go post your questions. Hit us up this morning, Chris Purple, Ace and Bobby Show on Facebook or Big Dog 97.9 Facebook, BigDog979.com as well.
Give you a little insight to what goes on in our conversations as we talk about what we're going to be chatting about. Needless to say, Bobby had a really good laugh. I did too. We will share the insight after Foo Fighters and The Glass. Big Dog 97.9. Welcome, everybody, to the show, our live video.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of see behind the scenes of what we do. We nod a lot, and we dance, we laugh.
I like this song. I'm jamming to this one. I like this song.
It's really good.
We found some really great. You guys ever make notes for yourself and then find them way later? We do that. We're going to be talking about that on the air coming up pretty soon because we got a good chuckle out of this morning.
Our show notes.
Yeah, we write down like a bunch of ideas of here's some things we could do, cover, whatever.
And yeah,
Chris really liked one.
You'll see kind of where our thought process goes in the morning a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it's a good look into that.
We'll have that coming up in a minute and a half. Any questions that you know of or anything like that? Just make a comment, and we'll answer it. Whatever question you have here on a Friday. It's a free fall.
Yeah, why not?
So a little insight to the show. We were discussing, as we do, as the show kind of goes along, what we're going to talk about. We have an idea, but then, sometimes you get into that. We're talking about our Mount Rushmore that's coming up at 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
and other stuff we can talk about today. And I found some notes that I had wrote because we sometimes will say something, we don't have time for it, or we can't talk about it.
Right?
And I'm sure everybody does this. I bet you do it as well at work.
Sure.
Or you're talking to your friends. You write down these little notes about, I got to remember about this.
Maybe a to-do list. It may be a shopping list. It may be things for work or an idea specifically for your business or your job or personal life, whatever.
And you write stuff down.
Yeah.
So one of the names, and we did this one, so I needed to mark it out. Pro sports team names you want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we did a Mount Rushmore of this.
Yeah, football season, I think it was. We did that.
Yeah.
The beginning of football season. So cross that one off the list. What
All
else
right.
do we have on the list?
Things you think about when you're high.
Okay. And I think we did a Mount Rushmore about that too, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Now, these necessarily don't have to be about right. It could be just
No.
topics that we're talking
Just
about.
this specific day, we probably were on a roll
So
there.
there we go. I wrote down next, things you think about when you're high.
Yeah.
My next thing on the list was, what if animals understood what we're saying, but they ignore us? Probably one of the things you think about when you're high. Why is that?
That's probably true. That's probably was a follow-up to that.
It sparked, you know what else we could talk about?
Yeah.
What if animals,
You know how cats don't pay attention to you? Okay.
maybe they understand us. They're just
They
ignoring
just
us.
ignore us. Okay.
Little winches.
That's good.
All right. So there's that. My next thing on my list was, where's my cell phone?
That's good. I don't know if he was trying to find it or we were going to talk about it. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. It's great.
Next. Did you hear that?
Did you hear that? And you wrote that down.
I wrote that down as something, hey, we might talk about this.
Did you hear that? I
We-
wonder.
We have no idea why. Not a single. What does that relate to? I don't know.
I don't either. I don't remember. My favorite would have been if you had written that down and then showed me that like it was scary.
Did you hear that?
Did you hear that?
All right. My last thing on my little scratch notepad thing, if you're watching us live on Facebook or BigDog979.com, because we go live 8 to 9, here's my scratch piece of paper. All this little stuff wrote down. The last thing on my list is, what do you think about when high?
Which was already written at the top, if you recall.
The first thing is things you think about when you're high. It's different. Things you think about when you're high.
Okay.
The last thing was, what do you think about when you're high?
It's not different. And
it's different.
you know what? I realized you must have been high when we did that show.
I don't know.
Look at the other things you wrote down. Where is my phone? And did you hear that? It's also paranoid. You were losing stuff, and you forgot about the one thing you already said.
And then you start thinking about animals understanding us, but they're just being
You were,
they're ignoring us.
here's what I know. You were high when you wrote those notes.
What was going on with me that morning?
Oh, I have a really good idea.
Well, there's a little insight of our note taking and what happens as we prep for the show.
That's how this show gets put together, baby.
Maybe it makes sense what kind of goes on with us during the show. I don't know. Anyway, we do have the Mount Rushmore coming up at 8:30 that we'll do. I'll try to find better notes, and maybe we'll come up with something.
Live streaming to BigDog979.com or on Facebook. You can chime in. Let me know. Chris was probably high when he wrote those notes.
No,
right?
I don't.
I
It's on
think
there
so.
Twice. Little quick insight to my notes as well. I don't think there's anything on here that would get anybody in trouble. Hopefully not anyway. Don't take a screenshot of this. That's my notes, my scratch pads. And here.
The organization you have, I don't even have any idea how. It looks like a crazy person was taking notes to me. I don't even know how you keep track of things like that.
Yeah, I know.
It's always like a bunch of scribbles. This thing is circled. This is like arrows. It's good.
Oh, that's that. Okay. There you go. Everything that rocks all day, the Big Dog 97.9, 827.
Our March Mania contest definitely underway. One full day in. And, hey, if your bracket's already busted or you go, oh, man, I didn't make my picks, that's okay. We'll have a round of 16 bracket coming your way next week. That's going to be good for me and all of us that took BYU and, some of these other teams that didn't treat us so well. Who else did I have that got knocked out? Whoever beat Kentucky last night. Yeah. BigDog979.com. Still great prizes to win from Indigo Sky Casino.
A woman accidentally broadcast herself showering during a Zoom funeral has inspired our Mount Rushmore, and that's coming up after Motionless in White. Big Dog 97.9. It is time for Mount Rushmore. Now, we had a story of a woman accidentally broadcasting herself showering during a Zoom funeral. Yeah, apparently she wasn't just showering, she was shaving as well. And apparently everybody that was on the Zoom call watching the funeral saw it. She did not find out about it until she showed up at the wake.
Yeah, and then everybody said, hey.
So you like to be clean shaven.
Yeah. We know more about you now. That got us wondering, what are the worst places to accidentally Zoom naked? How about, is that the way we want to say this?
Yeah. What worst places to Zoom naked into?
Yeah. So you can always, we'll put up our Mount Rushmore, Chris Plays Bobby Show on Facebook, and you can let us take a look at that. Let us know who won. Share your Mount Rushmore of worst places to Zoom into naked.
And we're taking funeral off since that's kind of on the list.
Good point.
That's what inspired it.
All right, coin flip time. Here we go.
Heads.
It is heads. You
All
get
right.
pick number one.
Well, I'll go with right off the bat. I'll just do a job interview.
Job interview is a bad one.
Yeah, you zoom naked into a job interview. I don't know.
It-
It might help. Depends, I guess, the job.
I was going to say,
If you're
unless
applying
it's
for a stripper,
Yep.
might be a good idea.
adult film,
Yeah.
there may be a few others.
So well, maybe
Playboy Playmates.
Maybe this shouldn't have been my first.
But
pick.
most of them, if you're zooming in for the job interview, probably office setting, probably not the best place. All right, with pick number one for me, I'm going to take court. COVID changed things. There are some of those sort of things, depositions and all that done on Zoom. I think court would be the worst place to zoom into.
Okay. Well, next on my list, this would be detrimental to everybody involved. But if you are making a Zoom call to your kids,
Yeah,
it wouldn't be good to be naked.
yeah, not great.
Everybody's going to be. Nobody wants that.
You know, my dad has accidentally FaceTimed me multiple times. Thank God he's never been naked for any of
Could
those.
you imagine?
Oh,
Dad!
Dad! Come on. All right, number two for me, it's along the same lines, but a little different, not directly to your kids, but to their other superiors. We had to do one of these recently. A parent-teacher conference. I would not want to FaceTime or Zoom call that naked.
Yep. Well, we are now broadcasting. We got videos. We got like 4 cameras in here. We'll have angles. We got all sorts of stuff. We're live right now. Basically, our YouTube channel, Instagram, Chris Purple's Bobby Show on Facebook, Big Dog 97.9 on Facebook. Got the Big Dog website at bigdog97.com.
Yep.
And I'm forgetting one.
X.
All broadcasting live. So I would say, while broadcasting on radio
Uh-huh.
and doing our videos that we do if we were naked,
Okay.
I think that would be also worse.
We'll just go on Big Dog socials. How about that?
Not good.
Yeah, not good at all. I agree. Nobody needs to see that from me. Let's see. For third pick. Whew. I like the idea of this one. Just because the entire community would have the ability to see it. It's more of a local fear, I guess. The city council meeting. To accidentally broadcast yourself. Because you can watch those. You can. You can watch them. And just like this lady in the shower, maybe you just pop that up. You know what? I'm going to see what they're doing while I take the shower. City council meeting, I think, would be up there.
That would be.
Hey, I think I know that guy.
Well, I'm going to go the opposite of a funeral a lot of times. But, sometimes if you're like me, you might consider it the same. And that's a wedding.
I like it.
A wedding. If you zoom into somebody getting married,
all right,
and you're naked.
I like that one. That's good.
Where everybody can see you.
And it's a lot of the same people that are going to be at my last pick, too, because I'm going to take family reunion number
good.
4 on mine. Grandma, cousins, everybody's going to see it all.
That's true. Worst places to zoom naked into. That is our Mount Rushmore. I have job interview, kids, wedding, and while broadcasting on radio. Kids, by the way, is your kids.
Yeah.
Not just like any kids.
Well, any kids.
Well, yes, but
Your kids are probably best case scenario in a weird way.
Yeah.
Mine is court, parent-teacher conference, the city council meeting, and the family reunion. You can let us know who had the best Mount Rushmore list. Chris Purple Haze at Bobby Show on Facebook.
If you ever wondered what slime tastes like, from Ghostbusters, we now know. Finn Wolfhard.
Who is that?
Finn Wolfhard is your guy. He takes apparently a face full of it in the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire movie, which is out today.
Okay.
And here's his review.
Okay.
Quote, "It really didn't taste like anything. It was almost like minty, thick water," which sounds kind of gross.
Mouthwash.
But it's so much better than having fake blood in your mouth, he says.
Oh.
Way less sugary and gross.
The fake blood is usually made from, isn't it corn syrup?
Yeah.
And they dye it.
That's why it's super
so sugary. Yeah.
As for the experience itself, he says, quote, "It was really awesome. I read the scene in the script, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, I'm the one that's going to get slimed."
Yeah.
And he was super stoked and excited about it. The reason we're talking about it, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is the movie he's in. It's the brand new one. It hits theaters today. If you have not watched the one prior to this, because there is the one Afterlife, I think is what it's called.
I believe that's correct.
I highly recommend, especially if you're a Ghostbusters fan,
Mm-hmm.
go watch it. And then Ghostbusters Frozen Empire out today. I haven't seen it, but if it's anything like the first one, it's going to be pretty good.
I'm going to have to check it out. I have yet to see the other Paul Rudd one, I guess.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
And it's got it ties in the old crew in a unique way. I highly recommend it,
okay.
especially if you watch the original Ghostbusters.
I love the original Ghostbusters. I wouldn't say who doesn't, but I think a lot of people
So
love it.
somebody with no taste.
That's right.
Here's Rich Glitter.
This is not headline news. The first photos of Michael Keaton from the Beetlejuice sequel have been released. You can find them online by Googling Steve Buscemi. John Hinckley Jr. is complaining he's a victim of cancel culture. Interesting gripe from a man who literally tried to cancel someone else permanently. A new study finds that the average American struggles to tell the difference between a fact and an opinion. But I don't believe that's true. And a new study named McAllen, Texas, as the most obese city in the U.S. So obese, in fact, it also came in second. This is not headline news.